Welcome to Lexington, Kentucky and the SEC on ESPN. Bone-chilling temperatures on the outside, single digits, but on the inside, Rupp Arena has been on fire all season long. Number 8 in the country, Kentucky taking on tonight number 11, Texas A&M. The home floor has been wonderful for Kentucky. They are 10-0 and average nearly 100 points a game at home. Every game, every night is a showdown. First 5 for A&M. They played 2 ranked teams. They get another one tonight in Kentucky. They did beat Oklahoma. How about the first 5 in the SEC for Kentucky? 4 ranked teams, 2 this week, including this one against A&M. Saturday, a showdown at noon on ESPN against Alabama. Welcome, everybody. Happy to be here alongside Jimmy Dykes. I'm Carl Ravitch. Mark Pope played and captained the 96 championship team. His offense feels like it's choreographed. It's different.
Well, it's a thing of beauty to watch. And both these teams, by the way, are built to go deep in March. They have their eyes set on it. They go about it differently. Mark Pope's guys, man, they can really score the basketball, Ravi. And think about this. In 3 SEC games, they are making 12 threes per game at 42%. What's the challenge for Kentucky tonight? Well, you're taking on the best offensive rebounding team in the country, the Aggies under Buzz Williams, who, by the way, is the rebounding coach within the organization. 44% on the offensive glass. Man, that's a big challenge for Kentucky tonight.
Made a little easier because that guy right there leaning over the back of the bench is Wade Taylor. He is their leading scorer. He has missed now 3 games in a row, will not play tonight. He's dealing with a groin injury. All right, so we'll start Kentucky in their home whites. Lamont Butler's their point guard. Amari Williams is the guy that sets so much up from the top. And a near turnover to Jackson Robinson, who had a massive game in the last one. Williams, the drive, the dish to Carr, and an easy layup inside.
Yeah, the playmakers for Kentucky are the big guys. And that time Williams felt the pressure, drove the pressure off to deliver the pass. This Kentucky team, man, they can really score in multiple ways.
And number 1, Zurich Phelps, who has the ball. He's part of that starting 5. He's really picked up the shooting and scoring slack with Taylor on the bench.
He's averaging 29 points a game without those games of Taylor. That's a little bit more than taking up slack, right?
Picking it up, putting it down, doing a lot with it. Washington absorbed some contact, threw up a bad shot, good defense, and the shot clock expires. Good help from Kentucky's defense. It'll be Kentucky ball.
Now Kentucky comes in, the 3rd best offense in the country, only number 87 defensively. That's the next step of progression for Mark Pope in his first year. And it all starts tonight with cleaning up that first miss of A&M.
Wildcats overall average near 90 points a game. They're starting 5. Butler, Ortega, Owe, Double O, Jackson Robinson, Andrew Carr, and Williams, who we saw. Last 5 games, they've had a different leading scorer every one of them. They go across to Robinson. His first shot a little short. And on the ground, A&M, and out of bounds, slips the rebounder. Eddie Obaseki had it, but he fell, and it stays Kentucky basketball.
Well, this is going to be the challenge all night long. That's when the game begins, when the shot's taken. And the Aggies that time, 4 out of the 5 guys delivered a blow in pursuit of the basketball. The team in black is very physical when the ball's on the glass.
One of the stars for A&M lately, Pharrell Payne, will come in off the bench, and when he does, Mark Pope described him as a monster. Butler a blow by, and he kicks for a 3 that was given up by Owe to Robinson. They got 4 in the shot clock. It's Carr who will launch a long one. In and out. So unselfish, they passed themselves into a late shot clock.
One thing about Kentucky, they don't get to the free throw line a lot. They don't have guys that can just win their one-on-one battle and get in that paint at a high level.
Obaseki will take a 3. That is halfway down. Good box out by Carr. Numbers for Kentucky. Owe. Man, throwing it to the wrong man. He went for Williams, and look at Carr, might have been open on the right side. What a difference this guy has made. His first season as a Kentucky head coach, and how quickly he turned the tide. The sentiment of, I'm not sure. We knew he's one of us. He played here, but and he's turned the butts right around.
Yeah, within 24 hours, everybody was on board and deleting some of the things they posted on social media, right?
That's exactly right. Owe to the paint, left, no good. And a loose ball out of bounds. It'll go to A&M. You talk about establishing cultures. Calipari told us that when we were at Arkansas. Well, this guy has established a culture here, hasn't he, in his 6th season?
Yeah, Buzz Brent Williams was his given name at birth. But they embrace the hard parts of the game. Nothing comes easy for the Aggies. They don't shoot the ball straight, but man, do they win those body blow plays for the most part.
Good contest by Williams, the loose ball. It's grabbed by Kentucky, doing a good job of keeping A&M off the offensive glass so far. Robinson tries again, and no, that's a little bit short, tipped out of bounds. So you look at a guy like Robinson, who had 27 against Mississippi State, made 7 of 10 threes, 9 of 12 from the floor overall. And tonight a slow start, but there's so many guys that can pick it up.
Yeah, well, why is Kentucky hard to guard? There's always 5 good decision makers on the floor.
Yeah, he's 0 for 3. They went right back to him on a wide open corner 3, and he couldn't make it.
Good job by Kentucky to sprint back, though, build a wall, stop the ball.
Obaseki will fire again. He finds the bottom. Manny Obaseki, only his 4th three-point field goal. Bad pass there, picked off by Hayden Hefner.
And when you consider A&M has only made 15 three-point shots total in their first 3 games. They're averaging 5 makes per game. So the shot by Obaseki, good news for the Aggies early.
Phelps will shoot. Too strong, and an offensive attempt. They can't come down with it. Solomon Washington. Good pass, Butler. Find a cutting.
Wow.
Oh, what a play by Robinson.
What a cut and what a finish by Jackson Robinson. I love how he finished his cut, Ravi. He stuck his head all the way under the net, and that's where the ball found him.
6'6", 192-pound graduate. They have a bunch of those. So does Kentucky. Foul gets called on Otega.
When you're playing against a physical defense like A&M, you've got to finish your cut. You got to cut through contact, and watch Robinson. He's going to go and finish that cut and get all the way to the restricted arc, right around that rim, and then finishes on the backside with a tough finish. But man, that is a key thing. Texas A&M, they are so good at changing up their defensive look. You've got to cut hard the entire night.
Here's a great example. Amari Williams just under averaging double figures, where you see the other 5 above him do that. Very obviously balanced scoring, and they bring in a guy who's phenomenal now, Kobe Brea, as Owe goes to the bench. Brea wears number 4, and he is a phenomenal outside shooter.
He was the most sought-after shooter in the portal this past offseason.
Obaseki dumped it off. That was deflected nicely by Williams. They got 10 on the shot clock, and Obaseki fires up one off the side of the backboard. Williams, hard to the rack, net there, the block. Carr picks it up. What a terrific defensive play as Brea fires a 3, no good. And it's Kentucky with the offensive glass.
That's in.
Robinson, money.
Yeah, we had it lined up. First of all, there's going to be a confrontation at the rim every time in this league for the next 2 months. A lot of body collisions. That time Kentucky comes up with a loose ball, and the reload 3 by Robinson was money.
Phenomenal block by Washington as A&M gets set to bring in 4 substitutions. That'll quiet them a little bit. Zurich Phelps, who's averaging just over 15, knocks down a 3.
Ravi, it's such a big loss. Wade Taylor not eligible tonight but because of the injury. And this is the guy that could very well have been the SEC preseason player of the year had it not been for Mark Sears. That's how valuable Taylor is to A&M.
They double teamed Butler. He turned it over, and then A&M gave it right back. We'll talk about the dominance of this conference when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Ashley, for the love of home. Well, if you love college basketball, you've got to love the SEC this season. It is loaded top to bottom. Currently 3 unbeatens. By the end of the night, there will be at most only 2, Alabama, Auburn, and Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is playing Alabama right now on ESPNU. Auburn against Mississippi State without Janai Broom. They're up 10-5 early.
Yeah, Ravi, multiple teams capable of not only getting the Final Four, but winning the national title this year. Think about this, the SEC with a new record. 13 of the 16 teams in this league have been ranked in the top 25 this year. 13 of your 16 teams have been ranked.
We read Joe Lenardi's little bracketology every week because he sends it up multiple times a week. It's fluctuated between 13 teams that he's got in the tournament. I think it's 11 now, but up to 14 that have a chance to get in. It'll be a big number regardless.
The Aggies so good at different three-quarter court presses to slow you down, kind of drag you in the mud a little bit into those half-court possessions.
Travis Perry into the game now. He plays because Kerr Kriisa is still hurt. Robinson fires another one, and he misses. 1 point game, 7-6 Kentucky. Zurich Phelps step back, and he fires it a little long. They are really doing a heck of a job keeping the Aggies off the offensive boards.
Yeah, the Aggies have taken 6 threes in this game and only 2 twos. That's not the balance they normally play with.
Pretty cut. That's what's worked so far in the paint for Kentucky. That time it is Carr who laid it up and in. Andrew Carr.
Yeah, Texas A&M, they load to the ball side of the floor so heavy. You've got to get some of those backside, weak side cuts like Carr just made.
Kentucky 6 points in the paint so far. The Aggies don't have any. Wilcher just into the game. He's a good shooter, C.J. Wilcher, but he missed that one.
Yeah, but another jump shot out of Texas A&M. If you're Kentucky, that's exactly what you want to start this game.
Perry's the former Mr. Basketball in the state of Kentucky. Down low to Carr, height advantage, up and in. Another 2 in the paint. That's now 8 of their 11.
Mark Pope's offense is so good at running action that forces a switch, forces a mismatch, and then diving that mismatch to the block like they did for Carr.
Phelps, he got lucky. He had nowhere to go. There was a bailout. Now they go low, and muscling his way in is Pharrell Payne, and he'll pick up the foul. That's going to be called against Andrew Carr.
You know, Carr's a 7-footer that plays really well on the move. Talking about 7 and white. And this is just a smart read, a good cut right in front of Zurich Phelps' face. And the next possession, Kentucky gets the mismatch, and they run Carr right to that block. A high IQ, high octane offense is Kentucky in the half court.
Next level, Jimmy, they hear about point forwards. Well, Williams is one of those. He averages over 4 assists a game. He already's got 3 assists tonight.
Yeah, those are the playmakers, those bigs for Kentucky under Mark Pope. He identified guys that when he took the job, who can run my offense, my zoom action, my play starters are guys like Williams and Carr. The 7-footers are the point guards in the half-court offense.
All 3 of Carr's field goals have come on assists from Williams. And a line change for Mark Pope now. Brea is joined on the floor by Almanor, who had huge buckets in their most recent victory late, shooting the 3. Carter applied some full-court pressure. Now they drop it into a man-to-man.
Let's see, you've got, 17 seconds now to work with in that half court.
Butler penetrates. Garrison isn't a three-point shooter, and Brea cut, and he threw it away.
I think that was on Garrison because seldom does Kentucky just blindly reverse the ball like that. They get pinned down action, dribble out action. I'm very impressed with Kentucky's determination early to keep A&M out of the paint off the bounce.
They have 1 offensive rebound so far in this game. And they have missed 5 shots. There's another one from deep. That one finds the bottom. Right in front of the Kentucky bench, Jace Carter knocked it down. And happy birthday, Jace Carter, today.
Got to take what the defense gives you, though. Kentucky playing sagging defense in those gaps. Those open three-point looks are there.
Hold inside as Garrison, who again enjoys a big-time height advantage, was held. Called that on Carter. It's amazing for all the offensive rebounds they get. They're not a gigantic team. They're not very tall. Brea takes it back outside, and it's off to the left.
Well, a big-time, though, move just to get separation one-on-one by Brea.
Phelps ran right into, and they're going to get the block on the floor, and it's going to be against Lamont Butler. Mark Pope's not exactly happy right now, but boy, has it been a honeymoon to start. Talk about the coach's gambit when we return.
Coach Pope, University of Kentucky men's basketball. And one of the favorite things I have in this office is this chessboard. I am not a good chess player, but I love playing. I love playing with our guys. I love playing with every single guy on our team except for Colin Chandler. He's driving me crazy. We're tied up 3-3 right now, and I'm kind of ducking Game 7. I'm nervous about it.
Game 7 will do that to you, man.
What he tells us today, we live in energy. This program has an abundance that overflows from this guy, and there's Colin Chandler. But you got to think, I love that, Ravi, because talking to Mark about playing chess with his players, it's just a time to engage and talk and joke with one another, compete a little bit. And his ability to build relationships everywhere around him is at an entirely different level than most.
No doubt. Been a little bit of an odd start the way that A&M has scored their points. They've got 3 threes already. Garcia fires another one. That's not a good shot. And there is one of those loose ball pickups on the offensive end, just their second one. In the meantime, Kentucky 1 of 8 from three-point land to start this game. Phelps, pull up, finds the bottom. Zurich Phelps, the SMU transfer at 24 against Alabama.
Wired to score, though, because there were 3 white jerseys when he put that ball on the deck. So he had to put that elbow jump shot to work.
And it's the Aggies on top 13-11. 7-0 run. Brea, that's too much area to leave a shooter like that, but he hit it off the back. Now 1 of 9 from 3. Phelps also had 34 in a career high against Oklahoma last week.
I know A&M has made some threes in this game, Ravi, but there's no reason for Kentucky to get overstretched defensively. Play the percentages, and that's what Mark Pope's doing.
Yeah, Garrison got grabbed from behind. His head came up, and it nearly hit Pharrell Payne. Payne's going out. So is Phelps. Wiltshire as well as 3 come in.
I was talking to Wade Taylor prior to the game, but Buzz Williams is the rebounding coach within the program. And they watched film with him today. It was all about rebounding. And the bottom line was, buy your real estate tonight, own your land, and be physical on both ends. It's a unique, within the system, the head coach is the specific rebounding coach.
Oh, a slasher. He got double teamed. Garrison will fire. That's off. They continue to struggle. Maybe one of those nights, at least to start, where they're not making their 3-point shots. And now 1 of 10. Obaseki, pretty little pocket pass, deflected away. Hefner can fire from 3. He bangs it in. Hayden Hefner helps in that 3-point shooting now. 4 for 10 for the Aggies.
And they come in making 5 per game so far in conference play. One below their average. We're not even halfway through the first half, barely.
Amari Williams and Maxon Robinson at the scorer's table, ready to check in. Obaseki got in front of him, and there's contact. That's generally been called a block, and it will be again.
Well, A&M, again, they get that offensive rebound. Hayden Hefner does a good job of getting out to that 3-point line. He comes in and cleans it up himself and then dribbles himself out to a pretty good look. And Hefner, I love this kid, Ravi, because he has not shot the ball well throughout his entire A&M career.
That's right.
But he finds a way to stay on the floor, man, with plays like that.
Yeah, he's averaging about 12 in his last 5 games. We're going to get another call inside. That's going to be on Hefner, who is trying to stick with Almanor. But you're right, Jimmy. He's a very good shooter, and they really like him. But it has not been consistent enough for him. He did have 16 in the game against Alabama.
To my point about Kentucky cutting through contact, does Hefner grab, and you have to cut through and get that whistle in your favor.
Butler pulls up at the free throw line, way off, and we're going to keep it here. Amari Williams went to the basket, and Garcia, number 11 in black, threw him out of the way. It's going to be a foul on Anderson Garcia. Coming up 9 Eastern, ESPN, Cooper Flag, 4th-ranked Duke. They host Miami. It's followed by the West Coast primetime game, Baylor and Arizona. That's 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. Then Cooper Flag, very special in his last game, 42 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. A high not only for a Duke freshman, but an ACC freshman. He's been everything as advertised.
You know, the two most efficient offensive players in that freshman class are both at Duke. Talking about Cooper Flag and Colin Knipple, and then right below them is a kid at Arkansas, Boogie Flamboyant. This guy is special. That 42-point performance, I went back and watched it. He just did everything. He touches the game in so many areas, and he's right in the thick of that race for not only Freshman of the Year, but National Player of the Year.
Yeah. You watch that game because it did look like at times he could get wherever he wanted.
No doubt.
Whatever he wanted.
Yeah, and you forget how tall he is, how big he is.
How young he is. 16-11. Looks like Mark Pope's trying to find that right combination right now. As Hefner went all the way to the rack and he missed an easy one at the rim. Maybe he thought there'd be some confrontation. There wasn't.
Yeah, the ones you have to make. I mean, just not easy to get clean looks in this league.
Carr looks low. Williams, he's pushed too. No, they're going to get Amari Williams. Mark Pope is in shock.
Well, he may have fouled, but he fouled second. Because Williams, to me, was getting grabbed prior to him maybe getting a little frustration with the grab. Well, he's being held right there the entire time. And there's just, to me, there's no way that's a foul on Amari Williams.
Williams down the other end clapping. They have fired him up a little bit. 7 foot, 262 pounder out of England. Obaseki, he went right at him. We're getting a bench technical against the Aggies as all of them came onto the floor to celebrate. And Doug Sermons was right there and immediately slapped a bench technical on him.
I mean, there was no warning given. Doug Sermons, the very first time he sees it, and maybe he gave him one earlier. But Obaseki right there just goes strong with two hands. No way to block a shot with that much force. And then just running up this little celebration, Sermons sees it.
That was fairly quick, and obviously the bench on the other end of the floor. Sermons was staring at them, though, so perhaps, as Jimmy said, they had already given him a warning. Maybe Burdett is over here explaining to Jimmy what exactly happened. Clearly far away from where the action happened. Did they see something earlier?
Well, yeah, Doug Sermons had asked the coaching staff for some help.
Yep.
To keep that team off that floor. And you give a warning once, warning twice, and the third time you got to stick them. It's not a personal foul, just one shot we play on now.
Last two trips down, A&M has had easy layups. One a dunk, one a miss layup, and they got a 6-point lead. Perry will fire. And another 3-point field goal miss for Kentucky, Jimmy. 1 for 11 to start the game.
So it's a perfect game so far for the Aggies because it's choppy. They're stopped. We've even had a stop for a technical foul, but that's exactly what the Aggies have to do in Rupp Arena. You don't want Kentucky in a natural rhythm flow racing up and down the floor.
Obaseki and Phelps each with 5 leading the way for the Aggies. A lot of ball handling right now for Obaseki, who keeps the pivot for then got stripped, and here comes Owe. All the way up, no. Williams, yes.
Just an effort basket by 22 in white. I mean, a 7-footer ran with guard speed to be there for the cleanup.
Obaseki forces the issue.
Well, Kentucky's got their hands full in this game. Obaseki is a very downhill, physical kid. You give him an angle. The hot hands of Otega Owe, though, comes up with a rip. And appreciate the hustle by 22 in white to clean it up.
California wildfires continue to burn. You can help people affected by them. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN, redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover. Mark Pope shared a tremendous story about this offense, about sharing and caring and how you lift your teammates and it makes you feel better and play better. And what an opportunity with the Red Cross and what the fine folks of California are dealing with to offer support, to share, to care, to lift them in a terrible situation, which ultimately will also lift your own spirit.
Yeah, no doubt. Just an hour before the game, you and I were with him in his office, and he talked about those two words, sharing and giving and doing things for others, is where your real joy and real purpose comes from. And we all have an opportunity to help right now. And he's got his hands full, Mark does, in this game. And A&M, I know they've made some jump shots, but that's not their strength. And the strength for this club is getting to that free throw line and driving the ball. So Kentucky, I expect them to stay heavy in the gaps, but they've got to find their shooters. Right now, Jackson Robinson and Kobe Bray are combined 1 for 8 from that three-point line.
It's a little bit different. It's like the exact opposite of what you'd think.
Yeah.
A&M's made 3 more threes. Their offensive rebounds, they only have 2 of them. And Kentucky's won the point in the paint battle. One thing, too, to keep an eye on as the game unfolds, A&M will drive. They will get to the free throw line. They're not a very good free throw shooting team at 69%. Williams open underneath with Garcia on him. He gets it. He goes up and gets it ripped from behind. He got some help, did Garcia, from Pharrell Payne. But Williams has about a 4-inch height advantage over the guy that's covering him.
Nothing easy comes against Texas A&M. When the ball gets in the paint, expect multiple jerseys to come from different sides of you, even from behind that time, like Anderson Garcia.
They lob it, and there he is, Garcia, who came in and ripped it away. They try to run.
It was not there.
Carter, bad shot, deflected out of bounds by Owe. It wasn't there either.
But when you're the out-of-bounds trigger guy like Perry was, just because the play call has your eyes going one direction, if it's not there, it's not there. He's a young kid who's going to learn from it. Getting a lot of minutes right now with Kerr Kriisa still not available.
Hefner, tough shot from the corner.
Oh.
It never actually went in front of the backboard.
That will not discourage Texas A&M. They're one of the best teams in the country at playing through adversity, playing through bad plays, staying in the moment, embracing the hard parts of the game.
Wilcher comes in, Hefner goes out. Also coming in is Solomon Washington. And Anderson Garcia will go to the bench.
Right, here's that press again. It's a 1-2-2. And Buzz will change the pressure of it, but constantly trying to slow the game down a little bit and give you less time to work with.
Nice job by Washington to get in front of Owe. He drove hard, he got called for it. And again, Smart, you can see that reaction from the bench. As his teammates saying, Smart, man, you got your legs in front of him. He forced that issue on him.
Yeah, Washington made a great effort. Solo Washington is a kid that gives A&M all kinds of energy. But he got back to legal guarding position.
Wade Taylor, who you saw very active with his voice on the bench. This, again, the 3rd game that he has missed in a row with a groin. Phelps no good on a 3. Inside position, and that was Washington who got it. He basically boxed out Carr.
Well, that's what great offensive rebound teams do. They get inside position when the ball's in flight. They spin off. They don't take surprise shots, so they know when shots are going to be taken. And right there, the fight, the spin off by multiple Aggies that get inside those white jerseys. The A&M can be belligerent on the boards.
Good word.
I mean, that's how aggressive and tenacity that they bring. Can't spell it, but that's who they are.
Yeah, and I think people at home know what you mean. Belligerent. So Washington will get the free throw. And able to knock it down. A little bit better than most on the team at 83%.
Well, this kid is the motor on a team that has a bunch of good motors.
6'7", 220. Hefner set to come back in for A&M. Where do you think Kentucky will get some consistent offense, some shooting tonight? Who's it going to be?
We got two guys with gravity ability on the floor with Robinson and Brea, so a drive lane should be there.
Well, Butler thought he saw one. He was cut off by Washington. They move it quickly. Almanor will try. He will end up shooting 3. Zurich Phelps flew into him, and Almanor went down, and that'll be 3 free throws for Ansley Almanor.
Yeah, just a bad foul by Texas A&M. Your half-court defense has Kentucky locked up, and you fly towards the shooter. You have to protect that shooter's landing space. And one in black gets into the feet of Ansley Almanor.
He had massive three-point field goals late in the second half against Mississippi State. He was one of the stars in that hard-fought win. 11 points in 19 minutes of action. He talked about conversations with Mark Pope to keep the faith. He told him, "You will help us win games. You will help us win games." And that was one of those games that he helped him do that.
I'm not so sure Mark Pope is not setting a new standard and a new style and a new way to coach in the modern era. I mean, there's not a more positive guy that I've seen. And you combine that with his feel for people, his analytically driven offense, and just the constant energy giver that he is.
There's a turnover. Here comes Williams. No, he couldn't make it. Good hustle by Hefner to get back, just to make it a little more difficult.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why Hefner stays on the floor, even when he doesn't shoot the ball well.
Phelps no good. Loose ball. Hefner still fighting for it, and it goes to the Aggies. And we're going to get a call underneath on Williams, who threw Payne out of the way. It's getting chippy, which is just the way the Aggies want it right now.
And it's pretty much just the way every game's going to be in this league for the next 8 weeks. I mean, just watch down low the physicality that really both these teams play with. And Amari Williams gets called again, maybe with the second foul. I'm not so sure he wasn't being held first, but the retaliations, he gets stuck again. Watch Hayden Hefner with the fight, man. It's not always the first guy to the floor, but for the most part it is. I love kids that have not ran when it gets hard, and he could have easily found himself on the end of the bench the last couple of years, but well, those kind of guys, Ravi, when you break down the film, it's just hard to take him out of the game.
Even within the game. Remember, his last three-pointer from the corner hit the back of the backboard. He came out of the game right back in and impacting it in a positive way. How about the offensive rebound off the free throw? Wilcher, no good. Brea had it. Loose ball. They're going to get a foul that time on the Aggies. Will it be against Hefner? And it is.
No rebound in this game will be snatched with one hand. It's going to be impossible because you're going to be getting knocked around with body contact when you're going for a rebound. Everything's got to be two-hand strong in this game.
7 fouls, A&M, bonus for Kentucky.
Ravi Buzz, about an hour before the game, let me look at his game preparation that he did by himself. 4 massively long charts filled out with a couple of big emphasis points in the middle about this game. He takes nothing for granted, and they're as connected as any team in college basketball, I think, and they speak their own language. They keep their circle tight.
Yeah. What were some of the words?
You want me to share them with you?
You kind of brought us down that path, didn't you?
Well, the big words were faith in our foundation and trust in your talent. And when those two things overlap, that's the best version of us. And it's a drawn-out chart that
concentric circles.
This guy, and round circles as well.
1-point ball game. Phelps reverse. Nice. Pretty play as he beat Butler on the baseline.
And Kentucky defensively, they have some breakdowns. When you play 9 or 10 guys, you have 2 or 3 that aren't great defenders, and Aggies go at you if they have the mismatch.
Phelps has taken 8 shots. Robinson, quick kick. Almanor, got it!
Money. Kentucky always has those deep corners filled, especially opposite a drive.
Crowd roaring. It's tied at 22. Payne lost it.
Again, a lot of white jerseys for Kentucky defensively in that paint.
Big Blue Nation stays on its feet for this trip down with 4:25 to play in the first half. They're ready to explode. Butler stays alive. Brea. Now they begin to sit down in the building. Phelps, where did he throw that thing up from underneath the basket? Scrum on the floor. Washington will say, I'll take it, and not make it. Deflected back to him. Phelps will fire. Oh, man, Jimmy, that's Aggie basketball.
That is what the film session was this morning with Buzz Williams and his guys. How physical we have to be on both ends when the ball's on the glass. It is absolute slugfest. The best offensive rebounding team in the country, getting 44% of their misses on the offensive glass. Now Kentucky's hanging in there, but you're going to have to keep slugging away. Loose balls are money plays for Texas A&M. It's almost like a play call. And finally, you're going to get another miss, but another tap out and a reload three. Texas A&M throwing some slobber knockers in Rupp Arena.
Kev, Sean, and Coach in studio coming up at the half. We'll check in on the new #1 Auburn playing without their superstar, Janai Broome. Sean, Kentucky's struggling to shoot it. They're turning it over. What's up?
I think A&M's done a really good job. They're switching everything out top. They're playing 2 feet, both above the three-point line, trying to take away that three-point shot. Kentucky had 6 assists on their first 6 made field goals. They've only had 1 assist since 14:09 on the clock.
That's great analysis. This is real simple. One team wants a fist fight and a rock fight, and the other team wants to play and flow. Right now, the rock fight, slowly but surely, is winning this game. I got a question for you two guys. Which guy's the rock fight guy and which guy's the flow guy?
I always have rocks in my pocket, ready for a fight.
So I'm the other guy?
You're the other guy.
To Sean's point, that's one of the things that Mark Pope talked about, this switching constantly. It's not how most teams play. A&M's doing it against Kentucky. And on the other side, A&M, who had 1 offensive rebound at the 8-minute mark, since then has 6 of them.
Well, Kentucky has taken advantage of the switch a couple of times. No one changes defensive more within a game or the season than Buzz Williams. He'll show zone, go man. He's got different matchup zones that he goes. Sometimes straight man, sometimes switch 1 through 5. Multiple pressure, just keeping you out of sync. Not letting Kentucky get into any type of a pretty offense so far.
1-point game. Phelps with the ball, the only one in double figures. He's got 10. He's also taken 10 shots of the 25 for the team. Wade Taylor Jr. misses his 3rd game. He's the team's leading scorer. Washington attempts a 3. He buries it. Coleman, Washington's first 3 of the night. They've now made 6 in the first half.
Well, Kentucky short closed out on him because he's a 23% three-point shooter. That's the answer for Kentucky. If your pickup point isn't hot and high in early transition, Kentucky's going to make a boatload of 3s.
Jackson Robinson now with 9 points. Jackson Robinson had a rough week prior to Saturday's game. He was questioning himself, his future. I mean, he got deep into his mind, listened to some outside noise. He had some great conversations with Pope. He got the energy back. He let it rip. And then, ironically, in that first game back, Jimmy, he didn't shoot well. And then he had an absolute phenomenal performance. His confidence is really high. He's a guy that came with Pope from BYU. Obaseki hard to the rack, denied there. Garrison.
Yeah, Jackson Robinson actually started his career at Texas A&M with Buzz Williams.
That's right. Away, no. Good hustle by Garrison, but he threw it away. And it was a nice job by Washington, who read that he had to throw it back, and Washington went over to cover him. And Robinson couldn't free himself.
Revy, to your point about Robinson, hearing the noise, That's a struggle for every college basketball player. It's especially a struggle here at Kentucky because, I mean, you can't escape it. I've been here as an assistant coach, and there's this constant battle with your guys to listen to us and nothing else.
Right. Obaseki will fire a three. Wow. Where is this coming from? A&M knocks down another three. They've got 5 in this game. Kentucky has 3.
They are, the Aggies, taking what Kentucky's giving them. Kentucky's playing the percentages coming in, and Texas A&M is making them pay so far with their 7th made 3.
Yeah, I think I said 5. 7 made 3s. Robinson fires another high arcing one out of bounds, and it will be A&M ball.
Checking in for Kentucky is Kobe Bryant.
Minute 50 to go. Kentucky only 27 points. The halftime low 30 this season. Women's college basketball Sunday afternoon doubleheader. Jimmy Stanford takes on number 16 Duke. Toby Fournier, who leads the balanced Blue Devil attack. That's 1 Eastern on ESPN2. And then Tehi Paopao and number 2 South Carolina hosting Oklahoma at 3 Eastern time on ESPN. The Duke women are 13-4. Their 4 losses have all come in games that they have struggled in the first half. Numbers for Kentucky. Brea hits Robinson on the run. He has a guy fly by him, and he buries another one. And he gives a little look to the A&M bench, and he's going to get a warning or a technical called on him. He looked at Buzz Williams, and Buzz looking right back at him.
Well, this officiating crew had a pretty quick trigger with the Aggies stepping out onto the floor. And Jackson Robinson, after the make, just right at Buzz Williams, right in his face, and that's an easy call to be made.
Again, these free throw struggles have been a problem all year for A&M at 69%. Phelps is a 67% free throw shooter, but he gets it to go down the second one, and they will, of course, get the ball.
Texas A&M, they get to the free throw line 26 times per game. But man, the lack of makes, they are leaving points on the table every single game.
That's not a misprint. They missed 20 against Alabama. Alabama hung on and won that game. If they make half those free throws, they win going away. Obaseki and Robinson staying right in front of him on the defensive end. Nearly led to a turnover. Washington throws one up, no good. It'll be Kentucky basketball. It is so physical.
Well, I'm impressed with Kentucky's defensive plan in this game. I know they're down 2, but they're putting multiple jerseys on any ball handler trying to get downhill, making life tough.
All the way to the rack. Butler, he's down hard, and he may have hit his head, shoulder on the floor as he's helped by his teammates up.
If Texas A&M is going to extend their defense 3/4 court, and you got to play with courage and be fearless as a ball handler when that C opens up, and Butler.
That looked like it might have been goaltending, Jimmy. His hand almost looked like it went up through the cylinder.
Yeah. But your lead guard, Ravi, gets it. The best press breaker is a dude just bringing it off the bounce 100 miles an hour. And that's what Butler did. Once he got around that primary defender, that highway drive right down the middle third of the floor was available.
They're showing the replay on the big video board at half court, which showed his hand going up through the cylinder.
Watch Butler. Kentucky goes with smack action right there. And Butler gets downhill, and yeah, you're right. So Washington got all up in the net. Very fortunate that that was not called basket interference.
Butler knocks it in. Such a typical SEC battle here. 32 all timeout for A&M. Buzz will talk about it with 49 seconds to go. 49 to go on the clock. 30-second timeout. Stay with us for the conclusion. The power conference in college basketball, the SEC, so difficult to win on the road. A&M trying to do that here in Lexington. It's 32-32 with Jimmy Dykes. I'm Carl Ravitch, 49 seconds to go. A&M will have the basketball. Jackson Robinson starting to catch fire. He's got a dozen.
Well, this is the guy that you're always concerned with. His gravity ability in terms of keeping his defender tight because of his stroke, always comes into play. So you can move him around as a screener, but you can't let him get loose in transition like he's done a couple of times. He's very good off those side dribbles, three-point shots as well. You know, the SEC has changed. They have right now Auburn, Kentucky, and Alabama, 1, 2, and 3 in the country in offensive efficiency. That's where this league has changed over the last few years.
Welcher has it, 5 on the shot clock. He threw it away. Yes, out of bounds. Kentucky will get the ball back with 25 seconds to go in the first half.
A&M just not having a lot of success off of middle ball screen action, which they typically are very good at. And this is a chance for Buzz Williams to change his defensive look to end this first half.
Will they be able to get a shot for Jackson Robinson? They're going to take a timeout. Robinson, the 6th man of the year last year in conference, playing like the money man tonight.
Let's start the bidding at $5 million. Thank you, sir.
These people of privilege hoarding the financial advantages for far too long.
7.5 at the back.
Look at them, unaware that Robin Hood Gold members now enjoy the VIP treatment.
$10 million on the
The 3% IRA match on retirement contributions.
$11 million, sir.
Once they discover their privileges are no longer exclusive, their fragile reality will plunge into disarray.
Ravi, if I'm Mark Pope, I'm concerned about what Buzz Williams is talking about in his timeout, because I believe every possession so far in this first half, he has been playing man-to-man, switching pretty much 1 through 5. But he's got a bunch of things in his back pocket. He can show zone right here, get you stagnant and standing, and then switch to man within the possession. But I anticipate something different from Texas A&M other than just straight switching 1 through 5 here. Mark Pope's a smart guy, so I'm sure he's talked offensively. If they do this, we're doing this. If they do this, we're doing this. But certainly plan A and plan B had to be talked about by Kentucky as the Aggies extend their three-quarter court defense once again.
4 options to shoot on the floor for Kentucky. Butler, Brea, Robinson, and Almanor. Jackson Robinson's got a dozen. They double Butler and now trap him, and he gets it over half court. He will call a timeout. So the last minute here, 3 timeouts called, 2 for Kentucky. Pope put his head down for a second, looked up at his player and said, all right, rather have that than a turnover.
Yeah, but what did Buzz Williams do? He trapped at the timeline for the first time tonight. Just a little bit of a wrinkle, and I think that's one of the sheets that he actually let me see before the game. There's so much stuff written on there, only he can read it, but man, every possession, this last possession is just magnified. Man, in a league this year is going to have so many 1 or 2 possession games.
Well, A&M and Kentucky doing battle tonight. Kentucky leads the overall series 13-6. They've won 5 in a row at Rupp Arena. A&M won both matchups last season. The key to that was the guy that's not playing tonight. Ray Taylor went for 63 points in 2 games, and in one of them knocked Kentucky out of the SEC tournament.
Ravi, I'll say this. As good as A&M is on the offensive glass, they're not nearly as good on the defensive glass because they rotate so hard to the ball. If you're Kentucky, make sure you take this shot with 4 or 5 seconds to go and give yourself a chance for maybe a weak side offensive rebound putback.
You got a play design. Who do you think shoots this ball?
I think Mark Pope's going to try to either get Brea freed up or Jackson Robinson, or drive the ball and get on the offensive glass.
Butler inside. There it is. Robinson.
Bam.
Oh, man. Was that a beautiful play? And he does the same thing. Points at the A&M bench. Phelps half court. It's the iron. But a late three drops from Robinson. He ends up with 15 in the first half. And Buzz Williams going to go over and talk to one of the officials. That's Byron Jarrett about the same reaction from Robinson after the three went in.
If it was a technical 8 minutes ago, then it's a technical again right here. I love what Kentucky did with the ball. They threw it inside to get the defense to react a little bit. And then two shooters, one in each corner. Jackson Robinson makes the shot, turns and points and talks again. Buzz Williams all over it, setting ourselves up for a heck of a second half.
We sure are. Buzz still buzzing right now. Our halftime report comes up with Kevin, Seth, and Farney right now. We're back. Texas A&M led this first half for 10 minutes. Part of that was their outstanding three-point shooting. They made 7. So far this season, they've averaged fewer than 7 in a game. They went 7 of 18 in the first half. Jackson Robinson was cold to start. This was the first 3 he made. The team was 1 of 11. Then they made 4 their last 6, and Robinson had 3 of those 4. He caught fire. Jackson Robinson with 15. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Very, very good game. Tight 35-32. Wildcats on top as we get set for the final 20 minutes of action. Back with Jimmy Dykes. I'm Carl Ravitch. How do you think the second half plays out, given A&M wasn't going to shoot much better and they weren't going to shoot much worse?
No, it's not going to be a pretty game, and Kentucky's not locked in, knowing it's going to be a lot of, body blows and those type plays. I love the last possession by Kentucky, though, Ravi, to finish out the half. It's amazing how many times a shot right before the half will be so big at the end of the game. I thought Aggies did what they thought they were going to do. They came out and went to their switching matchup zone, but Kentucky did not settle. They moved the ball, they got it into the heart of the defense, and then the kick out, bam, and the firepower by Jackson Robinson. Remember this, Jackson Robinson had 27 points, made 7 threes in their last game at Mississippi State.
Yeah.
He's 4 out of 9 in this game from behind that arc.
Hefner, he went into the paint, then he kicked it, and that 3 misses down to the floor in a heat. And maybe in some pain is Butler. They're going to call time. He is in some pain. Didn't see what led to Lamont Butler being down on the ground. He already had hit the ground hard in the first half on a drive. Here he's down, and right there he got a foot to the face. Right there, inadvertent by Phelps, but he got him pretty good.
And he's already holding the shoulder, and then to compound it, the inadvertent kick to the face. Boy, such a key guy, right, for Kentucky. Can lock you up at the point of attack, guard net basketball, make tough shots.
So he slipped to begin with. Oh, boy. San Diego State transfer slips right there at the top of the key and takes a right foot to the face, inadvertent from Phelps. But here's a good sign, he's up. Forget that he had that amazing game against Louisville, 33 points. And he made all 10 of his field goals, and 6 of them were threes. His improvement in three-point shooting this season has been dramatic. Butler is will go to the bench, up to 40% for a kid that was about a 33% shooter over his career. So even more playing time, Jimmy, for Travis Perry.
Yeah, he's going to have to come in and produce. And in the first half, anytime Texas A&M had a chance to go at Travis Perry when he was playing defense, they went right at him. It's a former Kentucky Mr. Basketball that living the dream as a Kentucky kid in a Wildcat uniform. But I know Buzz Williams well enough to know that if he thinks he has an advantage in a one-on-one, expect them to try to test Travis Perry right now.
Yeah. And remember, Perry is getting more minutes because the backup point guard, Kirk Kriisa, is out with an ankle injury.
I think they're just making sure that the time all matches up for when he went down, when they stopped play.
So no Butler right now. Kriisa out with that ankle injury. Perry will man the point guard. There's Kirk Kriisa, who is slowly but surely now applying some pressure to that ankle. You see it's got the different color sneakers on. So each team is missing a important part. Certainly Taylor's been more important to A&M than Creasa is, but with the injury now to Butler, we'll see when he returns, if he returns.
Ravi, good job by the officials to just take a look at the contact that occurred with the foot into the side of Butler's head, but just inadvertent. The kid just making a play for the ball.
Yeah, so they pressure. It leads to an open three. Too strong to start for Robinson. Offensive rebound by Carr. Bad pass there. Perry dives on the floor. It's out of bounds off Kentucky.
Well, that's the substitution that you get right now with Perry coming in and no Creasa and Butler on the bench. And Travis Perry, he has to hold up for the number of minutes that he's getting ready to play. The pressure is going to be intense. And good job by the Aggies. Washington just to jump back and read that elbow pass. Come up with a steal.
Phelps had 11 in the first half. Obaseki dumps it off. Denied at the rim by Williams. Henry Coleman's been very quiet tonight. He has no points. He's missed his 2 shots. Otega Owe also scoreless on the other side for Kentucky. He scored in double figures in every game they played this year. He doesn't have a point yet. And Williams being held up by Obaseki, who he gives up 8 to 10 inches on.
The foul is on Obaseki. That's his second and the team's first.
You'd expect Robinson to be the guy right now for Kentucky to continue to try to open up that offense.
Back cut, Owe. Way off, but he's going to get fouled and shoot a couple of free throws. He was off because he got hit on the elbow.
The foul is on Phelps.
They call that on Turk Phelps. Here's this note on Owe, who's going to the free throw line. 10 in all 16 games this year. Brings you back to Malik Monk, who was such a phenomenal scorer here in 16 and 17. All 30 games had at least 10.
Malik Monk out of Bentonville, Arkansas. One of the best high school players I've ever seen.
Really?
I got to watch him a lot with my home state. Man, could he elevate on his jump shot. Just lightning quick release, long, fast athlete. That's a remarkable streak, 30 straight games, double figures.
Butler has come out of the locker room and he's now back on the Kentucky bench. Tells the coaches he's good to go. Crowd saw him walk back out. 5-point lead for Kentucky. That's off Hefner's leg. Good hands by Perry. He's got a chance. Buries it.
Yes, sir. Answered the bell to Travis Perry. And he comes in and just blows up a dribble handoff and then sticks one with confidence. Really well done by Perry.
Largest lead in the night and let him roar.
That's a big, big moment for Kentucky. And Travis Perry comes in as a true freshman. The Aggies try to go at him, but man, he fights right back, sticks his hand in defensively and runs right to that 45-degree corner. Bam! And on the bench, Kerr Creasa, in whatever language he speaks, says, "That's my guy."
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Ashley for the love of home. And Jimmy Holm has been really good for Kentucky. They've not lost here. They've averaged almost 100, and the former Mr. Basketball in the state who scored over 5,000 at Lyon County delivered a big 3 there and stays in the game even though Butler appears ready to come back.
Yeah, I just think that's a big shot of confidence for Travis Perry. No knock against him, but Texas A&M, you're going to test a freshman when they check into the floor in the SEC this year. But this kid was a scratch golfer in high school valedictorian, to your point. The all-time leading scorer in the state of Kentucky high school basketball, 5,481.
And they've had some pretty good players in this state.
No doubt.
Missed there, layup by Phelps at the rim. Perry pushes, and there you go, attacking him. The 8-point lead, largest of the night. Kentucky has scored 5 in the second half. A&M, none. Robinson. Got it!
And I mean, bam, he shot that thing about as quick as you can get it out. A violent cut from the corner up to that three-point shot.
Robinson up to 18. Coleman in the lane, a fadeaway, and it drops. They needed that. Now they're going to need some stops. Would A&M be able to continue shooting as well as they did in that first half here in the second half? And would Kentucky warm up? And they've done just that as Carr has it down low and lost it off his foot. It'll stay with Kentucky.
Well, Texas A&M has the juice, though, to score off their defense. And Kentucky's going to have to be strong with that basketball because the Aggies, man, they flood the floor on the ball side. They put you in traffic. And Kentucky's going to have to run clean offense to finish this game off.
Perry again. That's how you score 5,400 points in high school.
And what a find by Jackson Robinson. The next step in his game is to be a playmaker. Again, Kentucky, man, they keep that backside three-corner always filled.
Amari Williams in traffic off the miss by Phelps. And this one slipping away from the Aggies. Robinson. No, just off to the left. Williams was there. They're going to call it on Hefner on the floor.
Jackson Robinson taking over this game with a three-point shot. And he just sprints up out of that corner and probably with about 0.5 of a second gets that thing off. In the very next possession, he drives downhill on the right side the entire time knowing that Perry is going to have a home base in that backside corner bomb. And man, what a boost of confidence by 11 in white the last few minutes.
A couple of threes for Perry. They changed that call. They made it on Obaseki. That's his third, not on Hefner. Tough pass, and Williams couldn't handle it. The offense is set, Jimmy. Anytime somebody penetrates the paint, it looks like he's got two options, both in the corners for Kentucky. You'd like to know the guy's going to be there.
For Kentucky,
yeah.
Yes, and it's the guys in the corner. I'll say it again, they have gravity ability. They drag their defender with them at all times. A lot of things open up when you can shoot the ball that well.
That's his first of the team's first.
Perry picks up the foul. Lee's come into the game, 24 in black. Williams gets a rest. And Garrison now into the game. Butler has not come back into the game for Kentucky since he hit the ground hard and appeared to hurt his shoulder. He also got kicked in the face inadvertently, but it's the shoulder that's the bigger concern right now. Obaseki, they're going to get a reach in.
Okay, so what is Buzz Williams doing? He understands where we are in the game, down 12. They have got to get Kentucky in foul trouble and get to the free throw line. Only got maybe, 9 times a night? That's not enough.
Ohio State, scoop and score!
The dream season continues!
Ohio State, Notre Dame, can't wait.
The CFP National Championship presented by AT&T begins Monday at 7:30 p.m.
College football playoff national championship game presented by AT&T Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Two iconic brands, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Monday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ESPN.
When the bracket was released, I took the Buckeyes. And I'm sticking with the Buckeyes all the way through.
Good for you. It's hard to see them losing, especially the way that they're playing. They got Jeremiah Smith, who was shut down a little bit in their last game. And Jack Sawyer, it feels like it's his time, and Ryan Day, redemption. But Notre Dame has been phenomenal, and you couldn't ask for a brand game like that one. Big brand here is Kentucky, and they're winning on their home floor again, and this guy's been a big part of it. Travis Perry, his 6 are a season high. They got 3 to shoot it. And Carr, that was halfway down. Whoa, crashing the boards. Robinson and 2 Aggies go to the floor. It'll stay Kentucky basketball.
That relentless pursuit of the ball. I mentioned in the first half the number of collisions at the rim in this league will be multiplied this year. A great round of applause for Travis Perry, who did more than hold his own with Butler out of the game.
An equal part of that was to see Butler come back in. The applause. They'll lob it to Carr down low. He throws it up and he makes a tough basket.
He is such a weapon on those baseline out of bound unders, Rav, because he's a 7-footer that can go up and get hard passes. Very soft set of paws finishing around that arc.
Dealing with a back injury. They're hoping to get him through this game, and then he gets about 3 days off. Wearing a brace on that back. Payne trying hard to fight, and he throws it up and in. Wow, what a shot by Pharrell Payne.
You know what Pharrell Payne is right now? Happy.
I see what you did there. Pharrell and Happy. Good job, Jimmy, the music guy.
Well, the Texas A&M, to me, they're a little out of balance because this is only their 17th two-point attempt in the game. They've taken 23-point attempts. That's backwards to who they normally are. I love the name Pharrell. I love this kid's game, too.
Free throw, no good. 10-point lead. And Payne being held in check with just 6 points. Butler on the floor for the first time after he hit the ground hard and affected that left shoulder. So what does he do? He drives into the paint, gets 2 on their feet to go in the air, and he missed a little layup. Butler blew that play up. Lee will fire. Way too strong. Wow, that looked like it's going to be reversed perhaps. But Sermon's coming in, and they will change it. It will be Kentucky basketball.
Texas A&M desperate right now for a turnover and an easy basket to get their pressure set up again. They're struggling with their half-court offense right now. Buzz Williams knows it.
0 of 3 from 3 and 3 of 8 in this half shooting. They've been outscored by 7, 13-6. Jackson Robinson runs to the corner. He sits with 18 points. That pass deflected away. Hustle by Garcia. He won the battle, and he was thrown to the ground by Garrison. They're going to get the call on Garrison. Terrific hustle by Anderson Garcia, who throughout his career has been compared to Dennis Rodman for his tenacity and belligerence.
No doubt. You could just feel this time of the game that Texas A&M was going to increase their defensive pressure. They have to. They can't rely on their offense to get him back in this ball game. They've got to up their energy, and it always starts on the defensive end. And to your point about Garcia, another kid that just excels at what he does. He's a star within his role. Per minutes played, one of the great rebounders in the college game.
Out of the Dominican Republic, the Dominican Rodman they call him. He is a phenomenal athlete. And epitomizes all that Buzz Williams' teams have been about. Garrison goes to the bench. Owe back into the game. So is Williams. They had Payne underneath and missed him. Payne goes inside, and that's going to be another foul on Amari Williams. That's going to be his third. So Williams and Garrison, Jimmy, to your point, try to get them into some foul trouble. Each of them have 3.
Texas A&M right now offensively, they're just trying to go right through the chest of Kentucky. And nothing's going to come easy for Texas A&M. Those white jerseys continue to be heavy in the gaps. Kentucky's loaded to the ball side. And Texas A&M, right, they're having to work for every single thing they get.
Phelps with a man on him, launches a long 3, no good. Williams rips down another rebound. He's got 8 now in the game.
Yeah, it's just not who they are.
Away!
That's who he is! Wow! That's who he is!
Double O with a big-time flush. And the roof off a Rupp right now. Garcia got a man in the air, and then it get pinned up there. Are they going to give the... Yes, they are. They say the basket's going to count, does Doug Sermon, so it'll be 1 free throw, but they're going to look at it. Let's go back to look at Otega Owe.
Now, this is a downhill driving guy, and he gets an angle in transition and just explodes Some guys drive it to score, and some guys drive it to hurt your feelings. And that's exactly what Otega Owe just did. That is about as strong as a finish against a physical team as you're going to see all year in this league.
Mark Pope telling everybody, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep driving. And Owe, as soon as he saw that lane open up, Jimmy, he put the pedal to the metal and then put the basketball through the metal.
That ball gets on the glass, right? Before Williams touches it. Garcia with a pump fake, and then he gets his ball up on the glass right there. And Williams comes over and gets a piece of it. That's goaltending.
It had no chance to even go over the rim, but it did hit the backboard first.
It hit the backboard and looked like it was still on its way up after it hit the backboard, but once it hits the backboard.
Yeah. You thought it was on the way up?
I know it hit the backboard.
Oh, it definitely hit the backboard, no question.
Previous call of goaltending has been confirmed.
That's goaltending when that ball gets on the glass. You got to leave it alone.
That was my point. The ball wasn't going to get over the rim, and he trapped it up there.
Interesting what Texas A&M does on free throws, Ravi. Their assistant coach, Steve Rockefort, will actually go all the way normally to the end of the bench to call a play. And this is probably the only time he hasn't done it all year. Like he always goes to the end of the bench and calls a free throw play.
he knew Garcia was going to make it. Yeah,
I'm telling you, I've watched the last 3 games. He goes down there every time.
The best laid plans. You know what, Jimmy? It's 2025.
Is he going to get a text message from me after the game?
Butler, 5 on the shot clock. He launches a 3. No good. Look at Williams pick it up and put it back in. Larry Williams now has 9 rebounds.
Because the Aggies switch 1 through 5, sometimes it shows up their inability to clean up a miss. And there was a mismatch that time from the rebounding standpoint. Kentucky takes advantage of.
Tough shot there. Boy, good shot for El Payne. Minnesota transfer who's been really, really strong. He exploded for 24 against Alabama.
He just dropped it like it's hot.
All right, now we're deep into the Pharrell.
It's only 2 songs I know by Pharrell.
So you got Happy and Drop It Like It's Hot out of the way.
An A&M team we know over the years, they're just not easy to put away. Their will is stronger than their skill. I'm not saying they're not a skilled team, but their will is gigantic. And if you're Kentucky, you keep your foot on the gas and you don't have turnovers and continue to grind away in a slugfest.
Williams looking for a cutter. Really difficult pass on the baseline. And Owe saying, bounce that, don't throw it up in the air to me.
Well, Zurich Phelps has been pretty quiet for the Aggies tonight. He comes in on a heater. And this kid in the ball right now, 1 in black, is capable of going on a 6-8-0 run all by himself.
Corner, Hefner, 3, no, too strong. Offensive rebound, great hustle by Phelps. Tough pass, here we go again. Away! Washington needed that one. Hefner can't come up with it. They run out. They got it away again, and he's fouled, and that's a good foul that time. Washington did not want to see another up, and away again.
No. Owe has dominated this game in the last couple of minutes with force going towards the rim. A tremendous ball pressure by Butler right there to force a habit pass, and Owe just looks back, and that is nasty.
Over on ESPN, about 12 minutes from now, Duke will be in action. They are at home hosting Miami. They're number 3 team in the country. Everybody kind of moved up a little bit. And Baylor 25th now against Arizona, 11 Eastern time on ESPN. More on Flag Day. Cooper Flag, 1 of 2 in D1 to lead the team, Jimmy, in these categories. Points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. Who is the other?
Well, we'll give our viewers time to text in and tell us, but I'll give you the answer right now. Yaxel Lindenberg from UAB.
You didn't give him much time.
No, I didn't. You got that quick these days. He's a heck of a player. Saw him last year. Andy Kennedy's stud down there for the Blazers. Yaxel Lindenberg.
Owe has now got 6 points in the game, all in the second half, as he tries to keep that streak going of double figures in every game, and we still got 11 minutes to go.
And you just wonder if does Texas A&M have enough offense without Wade Taylor to get back in this game.
They're going to have to make some of those out of bounds, and it's off of A&M. They were on fire by their standards in the first half from 3. They are 0 for 7 this half. Up by 11 as we have just under 11 to play in the game. Butler sees a lane and he knows there's a valve over there, and another kick. Robinson too strong. He won the battle. Owe, good bounce pass in low to Garrison.
Ravi, that's all Jackson Robinson, man. He didn't drop his head when he missed his shot and won the sprint to the ball to keep the possession alive. Man, big time effort by Jackson Robinson.
Hefner needs it. No. And everybody pointing, it's our ball, and it will stay with the Aggies.
Jackson Robinson's going to miss the shot in that 45-degree slot. And he's going to win the ball all the way to the other side of the floor to keep the thing alive. And there's a drop-off from Owe to Garrison.
Exactly the point that Mark Pope made about sharing and giving. That pass right there, always warmed this half. Yeah. He gave it up for an easier one. Hefner hits that elbow jumper. Travis Perry gave him a big spark when Butler went to the bench with a shoulder issue. And now he's back on the floor. Away with 6 on the shot clock now. Garrison. Perry's going to have to fire it up, and he doesn't draw anything.
One of the better defensive possessions by the Aggies in this game. They switched everything, and they switched out high against a three-point shooting team. You can't switch low. They got the stop they needed with a chance to cut this thing to single digits.
Basicki blocked from behind. They're going to get a whistle and a foul on Owe.
One of the few times Texas A&M has ran that middle ball screen with success. You know, Basicki, when he gets to that left hand, he is a monster coming downhill. I was talking with Buzz Williams today about this kid. He's a downhill driver, but he's also what I'm starting to call an uphill driver. When it's not easy, when there's bodies, when there's contact, this kid can still get to the rim. Valuable weapon, 35 in black.
And he has also gotten more time. He started 3 games with Taylor's injury. Knocks down the free throw.
Checking back in for Kentucky are Butler and Bray. Coming out Perry and Owe.
Owe and Perry go to the bench.
There's our guy, Steve Rockerfort. Every game I've watched this year, when the Aggies are shooting a free throw, he'll go to the end of the bench and call a play for what we're going to do to try to get an offensive rebound.
That play right there.
Except for this game. He doesn't go down there.
But they do that better than anybody. The idea that you're going to get an offensive rebound, set up a play off a missed free throw. They do it. It happens, what, once or twice a game? It just happens.
That's the difference of winning and losing. And a couple of games going your way.
The Aggies need another stop. High pass, and it's Carr. No good. Pass again was deflected by Butler. Brea tries to thread the needle. They kick moving it around.
Butler is so good as a behind-the-ball defender.
Brea, yes,
sir.
nothing but nylon.
I mean, it's like the sun coming up every morning. Kentucky will always have shooters in those deep corners.
Kobe Brea's first three, his first points in a while. He's got 5 in the game. Brea's been such a good shooter at home, but not tonight. Hefner. No good. Loose ball. Here they go. And they don't have numbers. Butler, though, slips and fell, and boy, this time it looks like it might be his knee he was grabbing at. He's been on the ground, Jimmy, a lot tonight. Got to get some new treads on those tires of his.
Yeah, just a bowling ball, though, coming in transition. A physical, tough kid. I don't know if there's a little knee-to-knee action, but limps off, and Travis Perry comes right back in.
He slipped again. Butler out, Perry back in. Williams, as you said, now back in. Robinson needs a couple of rebounds. He'll get his first career double-double. He's got 8 boards, which ties his career high to go with the 18 points. Hefner, that's going to be a foul. To your point, you isolate the freshman. He took Perry to the hole, and now he'll go to the free throw line. You know, we'll take a break. We'll see if Rocafort's going to stand behind that bench again.
I'm going to go tell him. What are we doing, Coach?
Kevin, Sean in studio, top of the hour, the new betting favorite for National Player of the Year.
Yeah, Cooper Flag coming off of an outstanding game, a generational game really over the weekend with 40-plus points, plus 6 assists, plus 6 rebounds. He's been great. So's this guy, by the way, Casey.
Carlos Alcaraz, still in search of his first Australian Open title. He's a Spaniard. Ravi will take you from Lexington to sun-splashed Melbourne, coming up next.
Also, Melbourne there for a President's Cup in 1998. Amazing. Take a look at the hot action of the SEC. How about Auburn without Chani Broome leading Mississippi State at home 84-62. Baker Mazzara had himself a huge first half. And then a quick check shows that it's kind of calmed down. Now balanced scoring. Shady Johnson 17. And Baker Mazzara has 18 total, but many of those were in the first half. They lead Ole Miss, putting it to Alabama on the road.
At Alabama, that's it just speaks to the depth of this league. Talked about in the first half, Joe Lunardi, I think as of today, has 11 teams in.
Yeah.
A couple in the first time out, or the first teams out. League could put 13 possible teams in the NCAAs. You look at where we are right now, all those teams on the left are in great shape. And Georgia, Oklahoma, Missouri, as of tonight, they are in. Arkansas slips to the first team out as of this evening. Mark Byington's done a great job with Vanderbilt in his first year.
Yeah, Robinson just went for a layup. He had it blocked. And a chance to cut into this lead, which sits at 9. Phelps C gets it to go. It's down to 7 with 7.5 to play.
Yeah, just finding a way to score off of a stop. Texas A&M. Like I said, it's very hard to kill the will of this Buzz Williams team.
Butler ready to check back in for the freshman Perry. Brea quiet tonight, probing, difficult pass, even more difficult shot for Perry. And they're going to get a foul as both the official falls into the cheerleading crew. And also down on the ground was Jace Carter. A lot of traffic. Little room, a lot of traffic.
Yeah. You certainly don't want to injure a Kentucky cheerleader down there. They're getting ready to head off to nationals like everybody else in the cheer world. And right there,
Two pins go down.
Byron Jarrett comes down.
Yeah, she's trying to play defense. Get away.
May need a new sign for Orlando. That one may be bent. Anderson Garcia. Look at him. There he is. Right here. We've been calling for him, and there he finally is at the end of the bench, calling an offensive rebound play. Yeah, there it is. Still going at it. That's unique. And Steve Rockford's been a head coach, been around a long time with Buzz Williams, but just kind of the inner details that Texas A&M goes in with their game preparation.
Had the play called.
Yeah.
He cooperated. He missed the free throw. Yeah. Which isn't ideal.
Every team, Ravi, has 3, sometimes 4 different stunning action they can do on a missed free throw opportunity, and he's the one making the call.
6-point game, foul underneath. Williams got tied up, and that's the 4th foul on Solomon Washington.
Out of bounds, though, only the 16th foul on Texas A&M. And this is just basically crossing over. The guy on the right side goes left, the guy on the left side goes right. Slap your hand, say, dadgummit. But I love that, the detail that Texas A&M goes to in every area of the game.
Out of bounds play underneath for Kentucky. Butler. Yeah, he got hit hard, man. He's going to be battered, bruised after this one. He has hit the wood about half dozen times hard.
As soon as he touched it, he knew he could blow by Hefner. Texas A&M's been really good in switching 1 through 5 and staying in front of the ball, but this time you get up top. That's a downhill drive to the strong right hand of Lamont Butler that Hefner just simply can't stay in front of.
66% free throw shooter is Butler. A violent foul there from Pharrell Payne.
Got another one, man. Got another one.
I mean, it feels like Kentucky's up 12 or 15, but it's a 6-point game with plenty of time left.
Jackson Robinson, who got on fire at the end of that first half, still sits here with 18 points. As the second one no good. Williams had it. His shirt was being held, so Amari Williams grabbed the offensive rebound and picked up the foul.
It is not easy to win that battle against Texas A&M, but Williams comes in from the right side and keeps his feet alive, Ravi. He got hit. There's a pretty good contact on him, but he kept his feet alive, kept his feet moving, and forced A&M to have to grab him.
C.J. Wilcher's going to come into the game. Really good shooter. Grad transfer. He's out of Nebraska. We'll see if he can get hot. They send Hefner to the bench, and Williams goes to the free throw line.
Normally, when
5% free throw shooter, Jimmy. Right there.
You're grabbing arms, jerseys, everything else. But to your point about Wilcher checking in, 10 in black, normally when he comes in, the very next possession is a play call trying to get this guy freed for a 3-point shot. If you're Kentucky, you have to know it and be there on the catch.
All right, we'll keep our eye on 10 in black on the offensive possession as Williams knocks down another one.
He's tucked away in this far corner. Jackson Robinson's gardening.
He wanted it, but a good defensive effort by Robinson to prevent it. Phelps. Williams got it up high with a block.
Williams is gifted blocking shots with either hand.
Robinson ball fake, a rare 2, and he knocks it down. He's got 20.
A rare 2, but instead of settling for something in the corner, makes a play out of the corner to pull up jump shot. And just like that, Kentucky back up double figures.
So interesting. I know 3's more than 2, but isn't 2 better than none?
It sure is. That's just pretty simple math. Jackson Robinson just shot the lights out in Rupp. I mean, literally, the lights went out. But here's the block by Williams. He can get it with his right paw. He can get it with his left. But this ignites that Kentucky run game. And you make the pass, reverse it in transition. Instead of forcing a tough three, a covered three, he makes a play out of the corner to pull up jump shot. We talk about Kentucky, one of the top 3 offenses in college basketball. Explosive with depth. But they are so good scoring out of that corner.
They got 4 wins over top 15 teams, 4 wins over the top 12 in the net rankings. No other team has more than 2. That's the Kentucky resume to start this season. Tomorrow, men's basketball triple header on the SEC Network starts at 6 Eastern. We got these games featured. Lanier, Chaz, and number 1 Tennessee. They'll host Georgia at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. The Red River rivalry, Texas and 17th ranked Oklahoma. Texas has won 7 straight in that rivalry. Oklahoma's lost their last 3. After a fast start, they've lost to Alabama, A&M, and Georgia.
Well, Georgia's been so good at home. Can they take it on the road and take down a tough Tennessee team? Asa Newell, one of the most talented guys in the freshman class in the country. Yeah,
so
long,
good.
tough. That's a Georgia team that beat Kentucky, so anything can happen.
Amari Williams now will be subbed out. He's got 4 fouls with 5:43 to go. Big foul, big whistle called there. And now Pharrell Payne will try to knock down some free throws. He didn't get it to go. Your guy has assumed the position in the corner again, Rockefeller.
So there'll be some type of a play call here by Rock in that corner in case there's a miss. Maybe he's already signaled it in. Not sure he's not barking it in right there, but just again, there's the signal, and that there's 3 or 4 different things that they can do off of a miss. You'd rather not ever have to count on that play.
100%. Good analysis.
Right? Yeah. That's the best option. Signal in a make.
He replaces Parker.
Pressure applied, and they got away with a loose pass, did Owe. Butler was there to pick it up. So a 9-point game, 5.5 to go. Robinson back-to-back 20-point games for the 2nd time in his career, and now he's over 20. Great cut, great pass by Butler on a set play. It's a high-flying Kentucky team that also can shoot from the outside. Phelps knocks one in over a challenge by Butler.
Boy, he is good at that pull-up jump shot, is he not?
Yep.
That last possession by Kentucky. Texas A&M, Ravi, they run towards the ball, so you've got to find plays on the backside, whether a cutter or a shooter. And the Cats certainly did.
Carr nearly lost it. He picks it up. Here's Butler with 7, now 6 on the clock. Owe, hard drive, throws it up, and that's going to be a call. Ortega Owe will get a chance to shoot 2 free throws. Heavy call on Garcia.
Watch the black jerseys go at the ball. Hold it right there. Look at this. You got 3 guys right there with eyes on the ball. So as a result, you got to have some type of action on the backside of the play. Is 2-on-1 on the backside, and a really good scoring cut by Jackson Robinson. Bring the defense to you, cut it from the backside, burn that pressure off. Really well done by Kentucky.
And Butler now has a half dozen assists in the game. Owe, his 7th point of the night. Chase Carter comes out. Hefner comes back in.
Coming out is Washington.
I'd love to see Hefner. He's got to warm up. He's 1 of 5 from 3 as that one misses to the left. 10-point game, 4.5 to go here at Rupp. Boy, Garrison got called. Pharrell Payne is being just that to the big men for Kentucky.
Being a pain?
Yeah.
I mean, you foul early in the shot clock away from the ball, stop the clock, and allow Texas A&M.
Both big men, Jimmy Williams and Garrison, 4 fouls for Kentucky.
Ravi, since December, Pharrell Payne.
Yep.
NCAA best, 82% he has shot from the floor. 33 out of 40 coming in tonight. A kid that knows who he is. 10-6 guy last year from Minnesota, 19 starts, but a very valuable piece off that board. Off that bench.
Yeah, what's that percentage you said?
82%.
You know what it did tonight? Went up.
4
for 4 from the floor. Got a good stroke from the free throw line. He's going to take a breather here as he gets the extra 27 before our under 4-minute timeout. Here's a double on Butler. He gets it to Carr, and that was deflected by Hefner. Garrison was underneath the basket, jumping up and down, saying, I'm here. They couldn't get it to him, but they did avoid a 10-second violation. Now a turnover. Phelps with Garrison sitting there with 4 fouls, and he blew that play up. Obaseki.
Everybody's hair's on fire right now.
Take a breather. Take a breather. Phelps forcing the action. Jump ball. Great defense by Butler, who reaches to his left elbow now. And the shoulder. It's that shoulder again.
There's not a better on-ball defender in the SEC than Lamont Butler. He can stay in front of the ball, bother the ball, strip the ball. Not easy to do against a kid like Phelps who's wired to score.
Well, we've talked so much, Jimmy, about how Lamont Butler's been on the floor, and you see he initially grabbed that shoulder of his, then he got kicked, and well, let's hope it's nothing, but he has certainly been favoring that left shoulder, and after that last block, he was rubbing it again.
Well, he's not been a scorer tonight. He's 0 for 3 from the field, but a big 6 assists and a big 3 steals. Kentucky they look different when he's on the floor or off the floor. And that's the sign of a key guy.
There's a presence about him.
No doubt.
After the block, it will stay with Kentucky ball. Possession arrow will now flip. Just an 8-point lead, under 4 to go.
And what will Buzz do with his defense coming out of the timeout? Trying to trap the life out of it around the timeline. And Oweh, a big guard, gets rid of it.
Again, Kentucky's 2 big men, Garrison and Williams on the bench, each have 4 fouls. Carr tries to set up position. They find him. He goes to the rack, and he will get fouled and have a chance for a 3-point play. He camped out underneath, and the size is just too big right now for Kentucky in this game.
Ravi, Carr and Kentucky, they're so good at understanding a size mismatch because Phelps got switched off on Carr. There's almost a foot difference in height advantage, and Carr posts up, shows a target hand. The pass led him to the glass. Really well done.
Obaseki now 4 fouls for the Aggies. Three-point play converted. Carr double figures in scoring tonight. They're led by Robinson's 22. Obaseki into the paint, throws it up, and he gets the 2.
I think, was it a bench warning on Buzz for being out of the coach's box, maybe? Because he was. I just don't know if that's what the call was.
He's right in the ear of Sermons, who hands the ball to Robinson. Oweh's got 7, and he gets banged by Payne. Obaseki, a hard foul, and it's going to be his 5th, and Obaseki will be fouled out of the game, assuming that's who they call it on.
A very odd, awkward play.
Yeah, it was.
By Obaseki, just to come with force from behind like that. Mark Pope immediately jumps up and gets in the officials, but Obaseki just runs right through Garrison with no intention to do anything but to
Send him to the free throw line?
No doubt. Yeah, that's just boom, right through a guy. Now, do you look at that as excessive, unnecessary? That's what Mark Pope is calling for. I believe it's a common foul called on the floor, but you're going to take a look at it.
His intent clearly was to foul Garrison, who's just a 55% free throw shooter, in an effort to have him go to the line and maybe get the ball back, right? Without giving up 2 or 3 points.
Yeah. I mean, an F1 clearly is excessive, unnecessary. We know that. Not a legitimate attempt to play the ball. Pushing or holding a player from behind. I mean, a lot of things going through the thoughts right now of KB Burnett and Byron Jarrett as they look at it. But it just looked awkward from where we're sitting, like not a normal foul movement by Obaseki.
The intent was clear. I'm committing a foul, and they're going to shoot. He's going to shoot free throws. Did you need to be as aggressive? Probably not. And he grabbed his shirt to start the whole thing right there, and then he kind of pulled himself into him.
Well, Garrison, as maybe you already said, is only a 55% free throw shooter. But I can see this being upgraded to an F1. It will not set well with Texas A&M. I think they just felt like they came in and made a hard foul. But if that's viewed as excessive / unnecessary, I'm okay with it if they make that call. I'm also okay with it if they say it's just a hard foul, but a point of discussion right now for sure.
Jimmy, the Ole Miss Rebels go on the road and get a win over Alabama. They beat them by 10. Coach Beard's got themselves rolling right now. Kentucky will go on the road to play Ole Miss down the road. And Auburn, no problems at all with Mississippi State at home, minus Shania Broom. They win by 22. The number 1 team in the land. An impressive statement without their best player. And one of the guys up for Player of the Year in college basketball, and Shania Broom.
Yeah, I thought it would be. There's no reason not to. That's just not a normal defensive basketball play. Mark Pope right off the bench in front of it to call the attention to it. And now Garrison, a 55% free throw shooter on the year, steps to that stripe.
As Garrison shoots 2, let me ask you, how different a game do you think it would have been if Wade Taylor's available?
Well, it's a 10-point game right now at the 3-minute mark on the road for Texas A&M. And you're talking about the leading scorer on the team who can go get his own. And Texas A&M has had a problem tonight with guys going to get their own shot. And that's the value of Wade Taylor. I'm not saying that they would have won, but you can't take the best player off of any team in this league and not have a major impact. That's a big loss sitting over there right now as an assistant coach.
3rd game in a row that he's missed. He's dealing with a groin injury. 11-point lead for Kentucky. They get the ball out of bounds and throw it to Garrison as an outlet. And he will be fouled. That time he'll go back to the free throw line. And Garrison, who's a 55% free throw shooter, just knocked the last 2 down like he was a 90% free throw shooter.
I'm not so sure Mark Pope, after that foul was called, looked at Garrison and said, make him pay. They're going to play the foul you game. Step up there and make him pay. Just a constant positive force is Mark Pope with his guys. Whoop.
Front iron.
Does he ever have a bad day?
Pope?
Yeah.
Not since he's come here, that's for sure. I'm not sure he had any in BYU either.
Good job by Butler to get rid of that ball screen.
And Washington comes up, misses. Down on the floor goes Garcia. They get the foul on Kentucky. So the whistles we're hearing a lot right now in the last 3 minutes of this one. Now, the moves that Pope has made since he's come here, Jimmy, to endear himself to the community, regardless of the way the team is playing, which clearly is the first part, he's checked that box. But so many things he's done in the community. He is seen everywhere. This recent video out there in which he went up to a fan on the road in a wheelchair Up in the third deck, went up, talked to him. Saw some pictures. He just seems to be doing everything right, and this is a community that is feeding off of it.
He's extremely smart. He was a Rhodes Scholar. He's extremely competitive, and he truly has a great love for people, and he's a very humble guy, Ravi. We mentioned that video to him in his office before the game. He's, well, that's what everybody would do, which we said, no, Coach, that's not what everybody would do.
It's nice to think.
As the head coach of Kentucky, to take the time to walk up the stairs, to sit and visit with someone, a Kentucky fan in a wheelchair, that's not common like we wish it was.
Aggies settled into their defense. Down 10. Butler thought about an alley-oop. Instead, they go to Carr with 2 seconds. Butler lost it, and that's a shot clock violation.
That's a good stop by Texas A&M. Now they are in a must-score situation on this next possession. And Buzz Williams only has 1 timeout. There's going to be play call after play call right now in live action. And Wilcher comes in. Like I said, when he checks in 10 in black, the play call normally is try to get this kid a 3-point shot. Robinson sniffed it out the last time.
Yeah,
we'll see if he does it again.
He's already got a sensitive nose, and he's right on him.
You just caboose him all over the floor if you're Jackson Robinson. Don't leave him.
Lamont Butler, he's just a pincushion tonight. Down to the ground again, 2 free throws coming, so the clock stops. And Phelps will have a chance to get up to 17 points. Oh, man.
Well, the elbows, though, were in a legal position. Just bad place, bad time for Lamont Butler. He's taking more shots than Notre Dame and Ohio State going to throw at each other next week.
That's right. You may have to talk to Butler. Who's in more pain after this game, you or Lamont Butler? Jimmy playing hurt here.
We both need to go see a neck doctor, shoulder doctor.
Knocks down 2 free throws, and now they got to get another stop.
Now this defense will be hot right now. They'll try to get traps anywhere they can.
Just gets it over in 10. Right. Just got it over.
For A&M right now, don't foul now. You've got it down to 10. Just play it out.
Oh, wait. Garcia. Cutting Carr. Pretty play. Got it to go.
Again, another cut from the backside of the defense, which you have to get multiple times against the Aggies.
Phelps step back. 3. No. Oweh has it. He finds Williams, who finds the bucket. And that may do it. They lead by 12. With $1:20 to go.
Amari Williams is the heart of this Kentucky team. And Mark Pope actually trusted him to give the pregame speech, I believe, the last game. And the first words out of his mouth were how much I love you guys as my teammates. And playmaker up top, blocks shots, gets out in front and runs. And this time brings the hammer home and to seal the win for Kentucky with 1:09 to go.
They win, they'll be their 5th win over a top 15 team. And Mark Pope will stay unbeaten at home at Rupp to go 11-0.
I guess there's a clock issue. Is what we're checking right now?
Yeah, is it 9:30 yet or not?
That's what it is. Are we close to 10 Eastern? Jackson Robinson has stepped up. He was 6th man of the year in the Big 12 last year, led BYU in scoring off the bench, was the first guy to ever do it as a Cougar. But Jackson Robinson has been more than just a 3-point shooter. He's made good cuts. He's handled the ball. He's gotten out in transition, gotten his feet set. And he can stick it on you as well as anybody in this league. And the playmaking ability also went to another level. And the foot race to the ball right there was maybe a game-changing moment for Kentucky. I love the all-around game by Jackson Robinson tonight. Rather, Kentucky is Final Four good offensively. There's not a doubt in my mind offensively they're that good. Mark Pope knows defensively is where they got to get better. It's on their radar. They're working on it every day. The defensive glass, staying in front of the ball, all those things.
What did he say? That's a directive? We're working on it. It's a directive for all of us. We've got to figure out how to finish that deal defensively.
Yep. A work in progress.
I'll tell you one thing, though. The energy has been brought back to Rupp Arena in a big way. A fun team to watch offensively for certain. As Phelps dribbles himself right into a turnover. And Oweh has it. Carlos Alcaraz is just about set to start. May have already. Second round from Melbourne, the Australian Open. And that comes up next.
Well, Texas A&M started off hot from the three-point line. I mean, at one point they're like 5 out of 9 or 10, and they're going to finish up probably 7 out of 29. Yeah, Texas A&M 0 for 11 in the second half.
Not good.
No. But that's more along the lines of who they actually are. Those three-point shots going early. Mark Pope didn't panic. He didn't stretch out his defense. He kept bodies on the ball within that paint all night long, and finally the percentages played out in this game.
That was one of the big questions in the second half. Would they be able to keep shooting, and would Kentucky get a little warmer? And they've done well this half, shooting 40% from three.
Well, Kentucky's going to have an upset Alabama team coming in here on Saturday, right? Alabama lost.
Yes, they did.
Is that a final? And Kentucky, you win this one and you win the game on Saturday, man, you're in really good shape in that SEC race going forward just after the first, two and a half weeks.
Well, we now know that Oweh, anytime he wants, can be in a dunk contest. After that foul, he went and did an incredible windmill jump. A dunk, I should say. And now he shoots to get into double figures. So he has now 10 points. In every game this year, Otega Oweh has reached at least 10.
Well, he had to work for it tonight. He got 6 of those points from the free throw line. He goes to the line more than any other Kentucky player at 5 per game. Kentucky's not a high volume free throw shooting team, and that's by design to keep that floor spread and knock down threes.
Pope talks about his efficiency. He said about Oweh, he's as efficient now than he has ever been. How about a 14-point deficit with 50 seconds to go? And Buzz Williams allows people to leave a little early to get out of here and avoid some traffic by calling a timeout.
Why not, though? I mean, if you're Buzz Williams, you're going to be in this position again in the next 2 or 3 games when it's a 2-point game. So you're practicing right now with live action going on. I don't mind the timeout at all. Forget the score. Buzz Williams isn't concerned about what the Kentucky fans think. And I love how he told his team today, when we walk into Rupp Arena tonight, it's going to be like the Wizard of Oz. There'll be all kinds of things going on and all kinds of signs and noises. But that doesn't affect what we do between the lines. But this Kentucky Rupp Arena has certainly grown this year under Mark Pope. But
this is what Wade Taylor did last year, Jimmy, just to remind people. Last season, a couple of 30-point performances. One came in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. And this is a very different team, obviously, when one of the best scorers in the country returns from a groin injury. But he went for 32 and 31 in 2 games against him. And Wade Taylor sat again 3 straight games now for the Aggies.
Yeah, the guy's a bucket. And he's got to get completely healthy because Texas A&M has done a lot of work. They've got a great resume. But this kid, come late February, March, has to be at full speed with Phelps on the floor as well. They become a tough cover.
So the play was to get it to Payne with Williams there, and quickly Hefner picks up a foul.
I know it doesn't matter, but it matters to Buzz Williams to call a timeout, draw up a play. This is what we want to do, go out and hammer it inside and finish it off. And the thoughts that go through a coach are way different than anybody else in this arena.
Yes.
What he's thinking about ain't even close to what everybody else is thinking about. So I promise you.
You and Buzz right now on the same page?
Yeah, we are. A lot of thoughts.
Duke and Miami over on ESPN. Australian Open coming up next here.
I just got a very important text from my wife. Your food's going to be 15 minutes late from Uber. Actually, it's not, because this game has lasted how long?
Did she say your cold food?
Well, good win for Kentucky. They got put in a game, but there was nothing pretty about it. They continue to grind away and get hard buckets. I love Kentucky's defense tonight to stay in front of the ball.
Yeah, Buzz has just given the call off the Dogs. No fouls.
And he's out of timeouts.
Yeah.
But the Aggies will be heard from again. Very good team on both ends of the floor, but Kentucky was a better team tonight.
Another victory over a top 15 team for Kentucky. They are 5-0 in those games. They will win this one behind 22 from Jackson Robinson. Carr goes for 13. Quiet, but 13. And Owe ends up with 11, and 7 of those come from the free throw line.
And a turnover because Butler threw in the ball just in time for the shot clock to expire. So officially, Owe gets the turnover. Another a smart, high IQ play by Butler.
After shot blocked, that will do it. 81-69 our final. Mark Pope keeps it rolling here at Rupp. For Jimmy Dykes, our director Mike Griffin, good to have Griff and Andy Jacobson, the Sunday Night Baseball crew in the house. I'm Carl Ravitch. Second round, Aussie Open with Jimmy Dykes. Carl Ravitch, so long everybody. Enjoy the tennis.